Sometimes the hardest thing in life is realizing that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is a decision to take the next step. It is not fate, it is not timing, and it is not even talent. It is the mind, the source of all experience, that determines our path. The Buddha taught that all things arise from the mind. The way we think shapes our reality. In this very moment, you have the power to choose growth, to choose wisdom, and to walk the path of self-mastery. This is not about waiting for the perfect moment or external conditions to align. It is about awakening to the truth that you already have everything you need within you. One of the most powerful realizations on this journey is understanding that transformation does not come from waiting. It comes from taking action now. Doubt will always whisper in your mind, telling you that you are not ready, that you are not good enough, and that you need more time. But the Buddha reminded us that attachment to such thoughts only leads to suffering. The truth is, you do not need to wait for the perfect conditions to begin. You become wise by walking the path, not by standing still. The present moment is your only reality, and within it lies the opportunity to step into your highest potential. The key to this transformation is embracing the power you already hold. Even when the road ahead is uncertain, even when fear arises, your response determines your reality. The Buddha taught that our suffering does not come from the external world, but from how we perceive and react to it. Instead of waiting for clarity, act with mindfulness and intention. Today, we will explore how shifting your mindset can radically change the way you approach your goals, your challenges, and your everyday life. This is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about stepping fully into the potential that already exists within you. The decision to walk this path begins in the mind. It is not about waiting for the right opportunity or hoping for external circumstances to change. It is about making an inner commitment. The Buddha taught that right intention is one of the foundations of the Noble Eightfold Path, guiding us to act with wisdom and purpose. When you decide to show up each day as the best version of yourself, you align with this teaching. Life is not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond to it. This is where true strength is cultivated. This mindset is not about seeking perfection or proving yourself to others. It is about setting a personal standard rooted in continuous growth and self-awareness. The Buddha did not teach the path to enlightenment as a competition, but as a journey of inner discovery. To strive for excellence is not to seek external validation, but to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and self-discipline. Each day is an opportunity to refine your character, to cultivate patience, and to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. When you decide to be your best, it does not mean you will never struggle or make mistakes. Challenges will come, and setbacks will arise. But the Buddha taught that suffering can be our greatest teacher. Every challenge is an opportunity to develop resilience and wisdom. Instead of seeing obstacles as burdens, see them as stepping stones. This is where transformation occurs, not by waiting for life to be easy, but by strengthening yourself to meet life with clarity and composure. The decision to act with purpose changes everything. You begin to elevate your thoughts, align your actions with your highest values, and move forward with confidence. This is not about superiority or pride, but about honoring your own potential. When you raise your standards, you naturally elevate the quality of your life. This is the power of deciding to cultivate mindfulness, discipline, and awareness. Acting as if you are the best does not mean looking down on others or becoming attached to a false sense of superiority. The Buddha taught that true wisdom is accompanied by humility. When you embody excellence, it is not for praise or recognition, but because it is the natural expression of a trained mind. Imagine a master craftsman, a dedicated monk, or a devoted teacher. There is no arrogance in their confidence, only deep presence and commitment to their path. True mastery is built on a foundation of discipline, patience, and inner peace. Carry yourself with the same presence. Do not seek to impress others, but to develop the inner strength that allows you to navigate life's challenges with serenity. This is the path of true confidence, not rooted in external validation, but in self-awareness and effort. The Buddha did not claim to be above others, but rather a guide for those willing to seek truth. In the same way, Walking your own path with intention inspires those around you without the need for words. Confidence does not come from external achievements. It is cultivated from within. It is the result of knowing that you are walking your path with sincerity. When you align your thoughts, words, and actions with your values, a quiet strength emerges. This strength is not about proving yourself. It is about trusting yourself. The goal is not perfection, but continuous growth. Just as a river carves its way through mountains over time, your practice and effort shape who you become. Some may think, I am not the best. I am far from it. How can I act as if I am? This doubt is natural, but the truth is, you do not have to be at the peak of the mountain to begin walking. The Buddha taught that the journey is the practice. You become wise by seeking wisdom. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. The qualities you wish to cultivate already exist within you. They only need to be nurtured. Even if you are not yet where you want to be, you can still carry yourself with dignity, mindfulness, and purpose. This practice is not about pretending. It is about aligning your mind with the path you wish to walk. By shifting your mindset, you unlock your full potential. How you perceive yourself shapes your reality. When you embody self-discipline and presence, your actions follow. When you move through life with mindfulness and integrity, you become a person who inspires and uplifts others. Your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. The Buddha taught us that our habits create our character. If you act with wisdom and self-mastery, you strengthen those qualities within yourself. This is not false confidence. It is the natural outcome of mindful practice. When you carry yourself with awareness and poise, you are already stepping into the person you aspire to be. Think of a moment when you face a challenge. If you approached it with doubt and fear, how did that affect your outcome? Now imagine facing that same challenge with presence, confidence, and wisdom. Even if the situation was difficult, your inner state would have made all the difference. This is the power of training the mind. By cultivating strength and clarity, you prepare yourself for whatever arises. The goal is not perfection, but continuous refinement. The Buddhist teachings emphasize lifelong learning and self-discovery. No matter how skilled or knowledgeable one becomes, there is always more to learn, more wisdom to cultivate, more compassion to develop. The greatest minds in history remain students of life, never ceasing to grow. When you act with intention, you commit to a life of purpose and discipline. Every moment becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to refine your actions, and to deepen your understanding. This path is not about reaching a final destination. It is about embracing each step with awareness and gratitude. Even those who have reached great heights continue to cultivate themselves. The greatest teachers never stop learning. The strongest warriors never stop training. The most enlightened beings never stop practicing mindfulness. When you adopt this mindset, you align yourself with an endless path of growth and awakening. In every aspect of life, whether in relationships, health, or personal development, ask yourself, what would the best version of me do? The answer lies not in external achievements, but in how you choose to respond, how you choose to live, and how you choose to grow. This is the essence of self-mastery. What you practice, you become. If you cultivate mindfulness, discipline, and wisdom, those qualities will define your life. Excellence is not a single act, but a habit, and the journey itself is a reward. Walk this path with presence, and you will find that you have always been capable of greatness. Whatever you practice, whether it is mindfulness, discipline, or resilience, becomes part of who you are. This is the natural law of cause and effect. The Buddha taught that our habits shape our destiny, just as a river carves through rock over time. When you begin to act as if you're already aligned with wisdom and strength, it may feel unfamiliar at first. You may question, who am I to embody such confidence? But the truth is, human nature is adaptable. Our minds are shaped by our repeated actions, and what we practice, we become. If you consistently practice self-awareness, you naturally develop wisdom. If you make disciplined choices, over time, self-control becomes effortless. This is not about pretending, but about training the mind, just as a monk trains in meditation. At first, sitting in stillness may feel challenging, but with continued practice, it becomes second nature. Strength is built through effort, not through mere desire. Likewise, when you cultivate mindfulness, resilience, and clarity, these qualities grow within you. You have control over how you meet the world. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from external events, but from our attachment and aversion to them. When we cultivate skillful actions, we align ourselves with the highest version of who we can be. Imagine you wish to become more confident in social situations. At first, it may feel unnatural, but when you practice mindful speech, deep listening, and presence, confidence follows. What once felt like an effort becomes your nature. This is true in all areas of life. If you practice mindful eating, you become someone who naturally respects the body. If you practice generosity, it becomes part of your being. There is no need to wait for change. It is created through intention and action. The Buddha taught that every moment is an opportunity to plant the seeds of wisdom, and over time, those seeds grow into the fruit of liberation. The key to transformation is consistency. Enlightenment is not a sudden event. It is a process of deepening awareness through daily practice. You do not reach wisdom in a single act, but in the accumulation of many small choices made with mindfulness. Over time, what was once an effort becomes ease. What was once practice becomes your reality. You do not need to wait for an external sign to begin. You need only take the first step, knowing that each step shapes the next. When we speak of embodying wisdom and strength, it does not mean ignoring our imperfections. On the contrary, true growth begins when we have the courage to see ourselves clearly. The Buddha taught that ignorance is the root of suffering. To be free, we must first acknowledge where we are bound. Strength does not come from denying our struggles, but from using them as tools for awakening. The wisest beings are not those who believe they are perfect, but those who are deeply aware of their flaws, yet do not let them define them. They approach obstacles with humility, knowing that every difficulty is a teacher. The Buddha walked the middle path, neither indulging in comfort nor denying his own growth, but instead meeting each moment with mindfulness. This is the way to true freedom, not in escaping struggle, but in transforming it. If you ignore your weaknesses, they do not disappear. Instead, they grow in power, pulling you further from clarity. But when you turn toward them with awareness, when you examine them without judgment, they lose their grip. Weakness is not a failure. It is an untrained part of yourself that is asking for attention. Just as a student does not become a master overnight, your growth requires patience, intention, and effort. This process requires humility. To act with wisdom does not mean believing you are beyond mistakes. It means you are committed to learning. The Buddha often reminded his disciples that failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from. Just as a tree bends in the wind but does not break, we too must remain flexible in our growth, understanding that setbacks are not the end but a necessary part of the journey. True mastery does not come from never falling, but from always rising. Even the greatest teachers were once students who stumbled. The difference is they did not let their missteps define them. When you embody this mindset, you are not pretending to be something you are not. You are demonstrating the strength to meet yourself fully, without resistance. Walking this path is not just for yourself. The Buddha taught that all beings are interconnected, and the way we live affects the entire world. When you cultivate wisdom and discipline, you uplift those around you. Your presence becomes a source of inspiration for others who are seeking their own path. Just as a lamp does not diminish its own light by igniting another, your growth helps others rise. Think of how it feels to be around someone who carries themselves with peace and mindfulness. Their energy is calming, their words are steady, and their presence is grounding. They do not need to prove their wisdom. It is reflected in their actions. This is the power of leading by example. When you walk with purpose, you remind others of what is possible. When you raise your own standards, you create a ripple effect. This is not about competition, but about collective growth. The Buddha did not walk his path to elevate himself above others, but to show them the way to peace. When you live with intention, those around you feel the presence of your mindfulness and are naturally drawn to cultivate it within themselves. Failure is something we all face. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we resist impermanence, but everything in life is changing. What seems like a failure today may be the necessary step toward wisdom tomorrow. There is no need to fear obstacles. They are part of the journey. When you meet challenges, do not turn away from them. The Buddha taught that the obstacle is the path itself. Just as fire hardens the metal, struggle refines the mind. When you cease resisting difficulties and instead meet them with awareness, they lose their power over you. You cannot control every event in life, but you can control your response. This is where true strength is found, not in the absence of struggle, but in your ability to meet it with clarity. The most resilient people in any field, whether in wisdom, discipline, or compassion, are not those who never fail, but those who know how to rise. The Buddha did not teach avoidance of suffering, but mastery of the mind in the face of it. Those who succeed in life are not those who never encounter setbacks, but those who refuse to be defeated by them. The practice of mindful living is not a one-time choice, but a daily commitment. The Buddha taught that each morning is a new opportunity to cultivate presence, breathe with awareness, and act with intention. When you wake up, recognize that this day is not guaranteed. It is a gift. To breathe, to think, to love, these are privileges. Honor them by showing up fully for your life. Waiting for the perfect moment leads to inaction. The mind always finds an excuse to delay. But the Buddha taught that the only time we truly have is now. You do not need to be perfect, you need to be present. Every small step, taken with mindfulness, leads to great transformation. Living with intention means raising your standards, aligning your actions with your highest potential, and walking each day with purpose. The Buddha taught that wisdom is not found in theories, but in direct experience. If you want to cultivate peace, practice peace. If you want to develop strength, meet difficulty with resilience. If you wish to embody mindfulness, begin now, in this moment. Every morning, ask yourself, how would my highest self approach this day? Let that question guide you. Over time, you'll find yourself not only moving toward wisdom, but embodying it. This is not about reaching an endpoint, but about embracing the journey itself. Through your thoughts, words, and actions, you shape the life you live. May your path be one of awareness, presence, and deep fulfillment. Stay mindful, stay present, and I'll see you in the next one.